Welcome to another Adobe Script tutorial. In the last video, we made more improvements to a script that exports PDFs from InDesign. This time, let's modify the script to work in Photoshop. To begin, I've copied the code from the last video into a new script named Adobe Script Tutorial 5. A few things are specific to InDesign, but most of this code works in any Adobe app. So first, let's remove the InDesign parts. We won't be exporting PDFs, so remove the variables for presets and the list of them, and remove loading the preset names. In the interface, remove the entire panel for options that contains the drop-down list of presets. In the OK button handler, remove testing if a preset is selected. In the process function, remove getting the PDF preset to use. We still want to ignore messages when opening files, but the property for this is different in Photoshop. Remove the line that sets InDesign interaction level to never, and replace it with the Photoshop equivalent. App display dialogues equals dialog modes no. We're not exporting pages, so remove the lines about page range. Reading a folder works the same, but Photoshop can open many extensions. So for now, remove the argument for the InDesign extension. For the comment and message about no files found, take out InDesign. The rest of the process function is fine. Now the process file function. We don't need file PDF, but setting the value we'll use later, only a little different. So for now, I'll make the line a comment. For the progress message, change to File instead of File PDF. And in place of exporting, add another comment. This is where we'll do something with each image. We'll come back to that later in the video. In Photoshop, the Save Options property to use when closing the dock is Do Not Save Changes. The last changes are the progress function. Photoshop does not have a window method update. Or it might, but it has no effect. To get a similar result, use the Photoshop app method refresh in its place. You don't actually need this in Windows, because Photoshop updates the screen for each image opened. But not Mac OS. The progress bar and image never appear. The script might run on either platform, so better to add app refresh. Okay, this script is now stripped down to something that should run in Photoshop. Let's try it. In Photoshop, I'll create an action to run the script to make testing easier. For help adding scripts to Photoshop, see the link in the description for another video that shows the steps. In the Actions panel flyout menu, select New Action. Adobe Script Tutorial 5. Click Record. Go to the File menu, Scripts, and choose Browse. Navigate to the location of the script and click Load. If all goes well, the interface should appear. Or an error. If so, that has to be fixed, then record again. Because when a script gets an error, launching it fails to record, and the action remains empty. It worked for me, so I'll click Cancel. And you can see the action was successfully recorded. Now, click the Stop button. To run the script, select the action and click the Play button. Click OK without selecting a folder, and the alert displays as before. The script still has the validation and error handling we created in the last video. I'll select a folder of test images I've set up. Click OK, and it goes. At this point, the script isn't doing any work other than opening then closing each image. but that's enough to know our minimal structure is working. Now let's do something with each image. Let's have the script open each image and save it to a new file. For that, it's best to have another location for the copies. So add another folder for Output. For the Panel with Folder button, let's add a label to it, after undefined size. Input. Then, duplicate the code for this panel. By the way, to duplicate selected text in VS Code, use Shift-Alt down arrow. On Mac, Shift-Option down arrow. In the new panel, change the label to Output. We'll need new variable names for the button and text. Change both from Input to Output. And declare the new variables: var btn folder output and var txt folder output. In the section for event handlers, duplicate the handler for the input folder button. And again, change the variable names to output. Now a small tweak to the OK button handler. Let's have the alert simply say select input folder. Duplicate the if statement and block and change input to output. Save the script and give it a try. Now we have two panels, one for input folder, another for output. Click OK and we get the alert to select a folder. Select one for input, but not output, and the second alert is triggered. Looking good! Now go back to the code, and we'll do something with the folders once both are set. Recall last time, I suggested breaking up the process function. Now we can see the value. There's nothing more to change about that function. All we have to do is update process file. We won't do much for now. Just save a JPEG of each in the output folder. Declare a new variable, file JPG. Then uncomment the line we kept earlier and rename the variable to file JPG. Because we're saving to a different folder, there are some other changes. Insert the text value for the output folder. txt folder output text. Then the path separator. And just so you know, ExtendScript uses / for path separators, whether on Mac or Windows. Next, add the current file's name only, not with path, which is the property name instead of full name. Now alter the regular expression to strip off any extension, not just INDD. The pattern is dot, then any characters not a dot, to the end of the string. And finally, add the extension JPG instead of PDF. Saving images requires a Save Options object. Each format has its own. For JPEG, the object is JPEG Save Options. Make a variable named Save Options and assign to it New JPEG Save Options. The object has a number of properties, but I'll only set the bare minimum. See the link in the description for Photoshop ExtendScript API. On that site, search the Index tab for Save Options. You'll find properties for all the formats Photoshop can save. Save Options, Embed Color Profile equals True. Save Options, Format Options equals Format Options, Standard Baseline. Save Options Quality equals 12, Maximum Quality. All that's left is to save the file. Doc, Save As, File JPG, Save Options. Now save and try the script. Select the input and output folders and click OK. This time, we're getting some actual work done. It's nothing batch automation couldn't do, but this is just the beginning. When done, check the output folder. There it is, JPEG copies of the images. Keep this code because next time we'll add more than just saving copies. Subscribe so you're notified of upcoming videos. And like this one if you found it helpful. Also, leave a comment. What do you want to accomplish with Adobe Scripts? For which application? Your responses help me decide the topics to feature in future videos. Thanks for watching.